Always fun, crazy. It's painful, but it's wonderful. What is the name?
It's Reusse Unchained.
All right, Pat. Boy, Vikings injury report today should be
Ooh.
fascinating.
Wow.
But JJ McCarthy not going to play this weekend. You guys talked about it yesterday on Unchained. Carson Wentz making his Vikings debut. Any thoughts?
Hasn't played a lot, that's for sure. And hadn't played a lot in Indianapolis 19? Was that when he was a regular? 2019?
2022, I think he was, or
Okay.
was it 21? Yeah, he was pretty good for Indianapolis.
He was a regular there. And then why did they get rid of him? That's not when they drafted that Richardson, was it?
He train wrecked the last two games, and did they fire a bunch of people then? I think they might have fired everyone then.
And they traded him to Washington.
Yeah, it was bad.
Okay, and didn't get much. Well, here's my McCarthy observation today after perusing Twitter and other accounts and stuff like this. All the people who went insane 2 weeks ago when he had the good fourth quarter, declaring that we now have our quarterback and everything's great, leaped to that conclusion, are now upset that anybody is criticizing him because he's only played 2 games, and look at all the other players who were not good. They're comparing him with Peyton Manning's first 2 games and stuff like that. So you can't have it both ways. You can't jump off the, out of the helicopter celebrating because of his good fourth quarter, and then a week later get mad at people who say, I'm a little skeptical here. I'm not sure. So it is kind of interesting. I guess those are the hardcores. But Seth Kaplan's one guy I see doing that. Yeah, but this is a week after he was,
Yeah, what should be you've seen enough these quarterback adventures over your time watching this team. What should be the proper temperature of take for JJ McCarthy's first 2 games in the NFL?
Somewhat skeptical, but not over the top. He's never going to make it skeptical, but somewhat skeptical because of the fact that 7/8 of it has not been good. But then again, I think most of us assumed that year, that he spent, because that injury he had last year was a half-season injury, right? Wasn't it? Basically, mostly an MCL is a half a season.
It was a meniscus. It was a meniscus, and he went for the long term.
Yeah.
The long term.
What I'm saying is, but you get the impression that he was doing something right after November or something like that, being indoctrinated, and so it wasn't like he was in a hospital for the whole season.
Although he did have the follow-up for the second procedure. Don't use the word surgery, but procedure.
Procedure, yes. Well, that's true. But I think you kind of assumed that even though he didn't play, he might have been learning something, right? By, sitting there for a year, because this is his second season. So that's why I would say it's a little disturbing, but I'm not saying he's got no chance, but, skepticism is okay. You don't have to say, well, look at Peyton Manning. Okay, I don't think, if we have Peyton Manning here, I'd be very happy. That would be good. If Peyton is the other one that I see is Josh Allen, and that they're comparing him to, and let's face it, Josh was this beast of an athlete that you wondered if he could ever contain it, because, those spoof movies when they got the wild guy throwing the ball and hitting cheerleaders in the head and stuff with him the first half a year, that was him. I mean, it was, but, it was always there, I guess. What you also have to remember about him is he came out of Wyoming. It was not a guy who was on a national championship team. He came out of Wyoming. I saw him play in Wyomania on the Ringlesby tour, and they got beat. So,
Well, we did yesterday. Jeremiah Searles, who's one of our contributors, who played for the Vikings. He was with the Bills Josh Allen's rookie year in the offensive line.
I bet that was interesting.
And so we asked him, hey, for the Josh Allen comparisons, you were in the room with Josh Allen as a rookie. Is there anything that you can draw from that and apply it to here? And he said, well, I mean, yeah, like obviously a young quarterback trying to figure out what he's looking at, but the biggest difference is, he goes, our roster was ass cheeks in 2018 Buffalo.
Terrible.
He goes,
it was terrible, so it was a bad team. But I got to say this. When I watched Josh Allen the first year, I did not see him as a guy 5 years later who would have a Hollywood starlet on his arm and be the best quarterback in the world. So I don't see that kind of potential for JJ after 2 games. Okay, but plus he's already married. What the hell? He's not married, but he's having babies. So I don't know. I think part of we can give him 20% of the clunker last week on having a baby 3 days before being home. You know what Jacques Lemire would have done if the guy was home having a baby, Judd? What would have he done? He would have made the guy move into a hotel.
The Omni Hotel with JJ McCarthy.
He would have said, change your diapers.
Well, O'Connell
is very upset. Yeah.
O'Connell said that in addition to not participating in the third down session, the very important third down in the Thursday practice, that he showed up, that McCarthy showed up on Friday with like 3 hours sleep as well.
Yes. And
Jacques wouldn't allow that.
And he could have used a good solid third down session, because that was not.
Yeah.
Or a fourth down session where we practice handoffs. That would have been okay. I mean, it was collecting center snaps. He should have probably spent a little time on that too. But I just saying, you can't have it both ways. You can't after game 1 say, we got our quarterback, look out, it's unbelievable, of NFC player of the year week. And then the next week get mad at anybody who said, "Oof, I'm not sure about this," So
yeah, no, that's a fair take. Did you see the quarterback that they just enrolled into quarterback rehab school?
Yes.
Desmond Ridder. It serves 2 purposes. One, it's your classic. He was with Cincinnati all summer,
Bengals,
so it's they're going to pay him for the intel. But he is also a 6'3", 210-pound, 26-year-old athlete that was a third-round pick in 2022. So
did he play college ball at Cincinnati too?
He did. Yeah.
Yeah. He was. Yeah. He was. I mean, he kind of, when they came up from the nothing, they were nothingness out there, and then Fickle had that good team. That was with him as a quarterback, right? About 3 years ago, 4 years. Not the one that made the final, not the one that made the tournament, but
they went 2021. They were he was 13-1. Their only loss was in the college football playoff.
And they got into the college football with him as a quarterback, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, I do love the intel idea though, because I think most of the intel would be based on Joe Burrow being the quarterback and not Jake Browning, right? So maybe what a break that is, though. I mean, Burrow's top 3?
Mm-hmm. It's not a break for CBS, which looked at that game on the schedule a few weeks ago and said, Romo and Nantz, let's make McCarthy Burrow the prime CBS game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vikings 0-6 with those two on site.
What?
With Nantz and Romo on site calling Vikings games, 0-6.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jinx.
Well, it's I don't know. Who's Cincinnati? Who are their 2 wins?
They beat the Browns in week 1, and then those are the Jaguars in week 2.
Yeah.
So they're not. So they won 2 games they should win, but not having Burrow the second game was a nice win for them. But how about those Browns fans? They're already putting paper bags on their head. That's 2 games in. They're very down. Is that our guy, right? Who should who should hire him?
Who would you, if you could place Stefanski with a B-leaguered franchise that's not Cleveland? You know what?
I don't know. You
Miami.
think he's the real deal? Yeah, Miami.
He's a good coach.
He's like a 2-time NFL Coach of the Year in that infrastructure. So,
but I would, whoever said let's get the massage king in here for $230 million as the guy who should take the fall, right?
Yeah, well,
I'm sorry he can't come to practice today. He's getting a massage. So, Deshaun, did they cut him or is he still wandering around?
he's rehabbing a torn Achilles, right?
Yeah,
Really?
he's still there. Well, he
Did they-
retore it.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? I bet they mugged him and tore it themselves to get rid of him. That's what was that? Who made that decision? Who's the GM there?
Well,
Andrew
I mean,
Barry.
it felt like an ownership-driven, desperate decision
Wow,
too, right?
man alive, that is terrible. That is unbelievable.
rough.
Because when he did play, when he did finally came back and played, he was terrible. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's awful. So our Twins fired 4 of their 5 major league scouts, including Jose Marzan, who's been with them forever and has a big Latin American connection for them. So what is they're acting like they're broke. What the hell's going on?
Well, I mean, you may look at it negatively. I look at it as a win for right-sizing the business yesterday.
Oh yeah,
Nice job.
So you're saying that they won a game yesterday?
Basically, yeah.
Yes. Well,
Hey, they lost to the Yankees, but they saved
that
some budget.
was- yeah, and that was a fun game. That was a courageous comeback by the boys, and I thought Larnach got it in the what was it then? It was
The
the
ninth?
ninth, right?
Yeah.
Bottom of the ninth. I thought he might have won the game for him. It didn't go, but that would have been that. I had the opportunity to switch over to yes to listen to as
Mackey.
the comeback was coming. And Michael and the boys were not happy with
Oh,
the way the Yanks were handling the situation there. When
awesome.
they were pretty much writing off the season if the Twins had come back and won that thing 11-10.
The Mets and Yankees guys are so good
Oh yeah,
because they get so pissed off.
yeah, and they don't. I mean, they can be great homers, but they don't have to be homers, because they know they're talking to a New York audience. And you're not going to fool them, right? You can't tell the Yankee fans that this was a glorious 10-9 victory here. You cannot do that. But it was an interesting contest. I didn't turn it on until it was 10-1, so I never saw the Yankees score a run. It was Twins beat them 8-0 when I was watching. So.
That's right.
And the guys they were bringing out of the bullpen. What was wrong with our guy Zebby though? I was telling you yesterday. I kind of got hope for him. Then he goes out and throws BP. Woof.
Yeah, he might be a little too around the plate. That
That's what they're saying. Yeah,
that's what I've heard
he
too.
doesn't hit that much of the corner, but.
And velocity is great, but if you throw it right down the middle,
Yeah.
velocity can only do you so much.
You know what? These guys, if you put 100 in the wrong place, they can. The modern hitter is the talent required to hit in baseball now has never been more enormous than this. Because not only do they throw 6 pitches, not only do they throw 100. But they only go 5 innings, and then you got 3 more of them to deal with. So it's not like the. I think he's getting a little tired out there. We better, Bert. Just think how good Bert would have been if he just had to throw for 6 innings all the time with that hook and the fastball. He would have had a 0.8 ERA. He wouldn't ever give up. All his home runs he gave up in the 7th, 8th innings, they'd be gone. So
yeah, because that era of pitchers, you were sort of pacing your repertoire through. I'm going to face a guy maybe 4 times, right? So you're planning for the long road trip that was 3 hours at that point.
Speaking of old pitchers, how about Verlander pitching good
He's
for
incredible.
the Giants?
Yeah.
He's 42.
Or Kershaw.
Yeah, Kershaw too, but Kershaw's missed. Well, Verlander missed some time in the last couple of years too. But
the innings gap there must be because Verlander was a horse for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean,
35, 50.
you're 42. You're a first ballot Hall of Famer, and you got Kate at home. Why are you still pitching? I don't get this. I don't know.
She probably likes it, Pat.
She probably does. Yeah.
he sits at home, there's going to be marital strife.
Yes, but she doesn't come to the ball games and wave and make a spectacle out of herself, does she? She's not at his
She
ball
used to.
game.
I think she's quit now.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
There was that great graphic so I think Scherzer and Kershaw faced each other like a month ago, and there was the great graphic from, I don't know, 18 years ago, and they both made their debut,
Yes,
and it
right.
was supposed to be Greg Maddux, right, versus Randy Johnson. Both of them get scratched, and it's inserted where these two youngsters, one named Clayton Kershaw, one named Max Scherzer, Dodgers and Diamondbacks, because Scherzer came up with the Diamondbacks at like age 21, 20. And Vin Scully announcing the decision, too, is even more poetic.
Well, speaking of Scherzer, how about him being in the dugout flipping a coin on the railing there when CB was behind the plate? Did you see that?
That's pretty funny.
He's incredible.
CB must not have noticed that because I think he might have flipped him. He might have tossed him out of the dugout, but it was. He's been pitching pretty good for the Blue Jays. He only goes 5 or 6, but he's been pitching okay.
It is with those three guys though: Verlander, Kershaw, Scherzer. It is the end of an era, man. Like that mid 2000s.
The 230 inning guy is. He's obsolete. We're not going to have any of those. Man, he pitched 180 innings this year. We're saying.
I know.
We're very excited.
Well, how many what's our guy, Paulie Skeens? What's he on pace to throw? He's gonna throw 200 innings.
Is he really? He pitches 6.
He's at 181 right now. He's at 181.
How about his numbers though? Man alive, is he good? I mean, I've only saw him. I mean, I've seen him on TV, but I only saw him that once here. But that is Nantz, and the other thing about him is he didn't have to wait till he established himself to get the gorgeous girlfriend, right? He was.
Yeah, they met at LSU.
They were together in college.
Yeah. How would you like to be? All the LSU guys though have been there for 3 years. Hanging around, and all of a sudden this big dork comes in from the Air Force. He comes in from the Air Force, and he squires her out of town. That had to be a blow to some of those athletes down there.
He's good. He's good though, because he does look like a bit of a dork, but he's good at being mysterious too. I feel like there's a lot we don't know about Paul Skeens.
Well, there has not been a quote from him, a usable quote from him all year. It's he
must like that.
He is definitely guarded, and so the Pirates would keep him 3 years and then trade him. For
What hat will he wear into the Hall of Fame? Who is he going to?
Not going to be the Pirates. So we can guarantee you that.
Yankees.
Yeah. What a bit.
Yeah, they're gonna get done with the previous Pirates generational stud that they acquired.
Yep.
Yeah, the Garrett Cole, right? And then
the guys out on the West Coast, though, probably, huh? The guys, the Dodgers. That's.
Yeah, he's from Fullerton. He's a Cali guy.
Oh,
okay. There it is. Yeah, Dodgers for sure.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. All right, gents.
All right, Pat. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll catch up on Friday.
Okay. See ya. Goodbye.
And congrats to the Twins for another victorious right sizing of the business yesterday.
That's right. Let's get rid of 4 scouts. Goodbye.